Hey everyone, it's Rajiv and welcome back to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be giving my book review of Tunnel of Bones by Victoria Schwab. Before I start talking about the book, I would like to say that I post book-related videos and reviews regularly in my channel. So if you enjoy watching this video, then please do like and subscribe. Tunnel of Bones is the second book in the Cassidy Blake series. The first one being City of Ghosts, which I really enjoyed reading when it came out last year. While the first book took place in Edinburgh, this time Cassidy and her family go to Paris to film their parents' documentary on the most haunted places in the world. When they visit the Catacombs to film a segment, Cassidy accidentally wakes up one of the spirits who turns out to be a poltergeist. This ghost turns out to be much more stronger than any other paranormal entity that she has encountered till now. In fact, the ghost is so powerful that it starts destroying the entire city of Paris. So it is up to Cassidy and her friends in order to stop the poltergeist before it's too late. So this is one of those books which I was highly anticipating to read this year because I really enjoyed City of Ghosts when it came out last year. And of course, it's Victoria Schwab, who is very famous for writing her young adult and this series. I know there are a lot of Victoria Schwab fans out there, and I do enjoy reading her books, so don't get mad at me for saying this, but after reading Tunnel of Bones, I really thought that the first book was much better than this one. I think the main reason why I was disappointed in this book was because in the first book, the villain of the story, the Raven in Red, she is so powerful and so creepy, and she has this really evil intention. But in this book, the poltergeist kid, who is supposed to be very scary, did not turn out to be that creepy at all. I mean, even though he was supposed to be much more powerful than the previous villain, he did not even know what he was doing, and he was just a kid. And okay, so he was causing destruction to the city, but again, he did not have any evil intentions in mind. So I was just disappointed in the fact that it was not a very powerful villain. Also, I thought it was very funny how Cassidy kept falling and getting injured in all these situations that she runs into. But in the very next scene, she is perfectly all right and good to go. Let's see, she falls from a tombstone, she almost gets run over by a truck, she gets herself hurt many times while she is in the veil. But in the very next scene, she is back in action and she does not have a scratch on her. And I was thinking, wow, is she like Supergirl or something? How does she not even get a bruise when she jumps into action? But then you have poor Jacob, who starts sneezing his head off whenever he comes near one of those sachets. So yeah, I just thought it was very funny and contradicting between these characters. What I really liked about the story was how it showcased all the highlights of Paris, where it had this spooky outlook and creepy story behind each one of these hotspots, like the Notre Dame and the Catacombs and the Luxembourg Gardens, the famous cemeteries, and yes, even the Eiffel Tower. If and when I ever go to Paris, I am so intrigued to check out all these places with a group, of course. I also like the new character Adele, and I thought she was very quirky and charming and kind of interesting, and I would very much like to see her in the next book in the series. It was also interesting to get an insight into Jacob's past and like a history of how he died. And on a side note, I also really enjoyed the Harry Potter references that is made in this book. The story is very fast-paced and action-packed, although in some scenes I felt like Cassidy was just randomly falling into the veil, where she meets this random ghost who tries to hurt her, and Jacob saves her, or she escapes and they come back to the real world. And there were a lot of scenes where this was happening, which I thought could have been avoided. But the story did hold my interest, and it was very gripping towards the very end, where they try to figure out how to stop the ghost from spreading evil. If you really want to read a spooky, paranormal, middle grade novel, then I would recommend that you read Dead Voices by Catherine Arden, which is the sequel to Small Spaces of the series Small Spaces, as in my opinion, that is a perfect example of how a spooky sequel should be written for this same genre. Overall, Tunnel of Bones was still a fun book to read, but I just did not enjoy it as much as City of Ghosts, and for that reason, I give this book a rating of only 3.5 out of 5 stars. If you have read this book or you have read City of Ghosts, or you just like reading any paranormal books, then please do share your thoughts and comments on the section below. Again, if you enjoyed watching this video, then please do like and subscribe. Thank you for watching, and until next time, bye.